Good morning, my name is Joe Cashwell with RotorCraft RC. We are doing something today that we've never done before. We're actually doing a live Facebook video as we're filming one of our YouTube videos. Today's video is about the new Revolectrix Touch chargers that are out on the market now. We got our order in last week. We did some designing. Friday I went on a cutting frenzy. We got 10 decks cut on Friday. And I want to show you what we designed and why we did what we did. First of all, I'm going to show you the new chargers. I know the iPhone's a little bit far away from me, so you know, please bear with me because it's sitting with the other video, so we have the same video that's going to be on both of them. This is the new Revolectrix PL6 Touch. Now the difference between what you see here and what they had in the past is the PL6 was just like this charger. It had the LCD screens in it, and this one's wrapped. That's one of the Ninja wraps that we get done. But in the past, you know exactly what these look like. Everybody's seen them. The touch controls are on here. The LCD screen is. They've completely removed that part of it, and they have mounted the bump control right to the face of the charger. So now when you take your RFID, you're just going to be waving it right in front of the charger. This works exactly like the old equipment did. So if you're familiar with the old equipment or you have a friend that's got it, you know exactly what it does. The one thing that we really like about some of the changes that Revolectrix has made is the PL8, which is the bigger brother to the PL6. They're now the same size. So before, we used to love doing it when a customer wanted a PL6 because it's very small and compact, and then the PL8, which this is two of them stuck together. You can see that the PL8 is dramatically bigger. Now this gave us a lot of issues in the case because of depth and because of just flat out size. So they have solved that issue. That is, man, it's good job Revolectrix on that one. The other problem that we used to have is say we got a Duel Powerlab, and I'm going to show you one that doesn't have the wrap on it. So you have a Duel Powerlab here, and we used to take a Duel Powerlab and mount it into a case. You have power for channel 1 and channel 2, and then you had a bump controller with power, and then you got the communication wires, which is the JR servo wire that goes from channel 1 to channel 2 on the charger to the bump controller. So there is a lot of labor in a case that not necessary. Now 8 gauge, 1 power wire runs channel 1, channel 2, and a bump. And because the bump's already mounted to the face of the charger, all the communication wires are internal. Now, anybody that's ever built a case and mounted the bump in the upper, you know, there's a little bit of RF noise coming out of power supplies. The Meanwells are a little bit cleaner than some of the other power supplies out there, especially if you're doing a server power supply. The noise coming out of it isn't that bad, but still under very extreme loads, as in 40 amps per channel, you can get a little bit of noise, so you have to deal with chokes and stuff like that. All that's a thing of the past. So what we've realized is that RotorCraft is going to be coming out with a budget line of cases. Now, we're not saying budget because the chargers are cheaper. We're saying budget because Revolectrix, not only did they make a better, improved product, they came down on the price point a little bit. So now when you buy the charger and the bump, you're saving a little bit of money because it's all one internal thing. So the parts that they removed, they didn't just pocket the money, they're sending it back to the consumer, which is awesome. I big high five for that one. If you guys notice, this is a PL6 Duo, which has never been on the market before. Before you had to put two PL6s together and use a bump controller, but now they have a PL6 Duo. So let's go to the cases. So this is the first case that we designed on Friday. We're never have gotten a Revolectrix into a 920 case before. It's always been in a 940 size case or a 930 size. Now, the reason why we never did it before is because the PL6 we could get into a 920, but we couldn't get the PL8 in. So we knew the second we introduced it with a PL6, we'd have 50 phone calls. Everybody that wanted one would want it in a PL8. A PL8 in this case, and then you have to go through the whole explanation of why you can't do it, because it used to be ginormous. Now that they've made it much smaller, look at this. Now this is the option that we have right here. Let's go ahead and pull out a 920 case, and in this 920 case we can do a Meanwell 1600. Look how skinny that thing is, very shallow. Right in there. So this is something that we have never offered in the past. So we're going to take a cue from Revolectrix and we're going to do the same thing that they're doing. So on the 920, you've got a smaller case, you save a little bit of money, smaller deck. If you notice, we're not doing the big hog out on the bottom and just having the screen poke through. We're just doing a big square hole. And the reason why we're doing this, now we're still going to offer all the custom lines for these too. So if you want the custom stuff, but what we're doing is, in the past, all this used to be hogged out by the machine. So it was a 3/16 tool that overlapped by 30%, and it would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then it would go to the next depth and go back and forth. And what that did is that took a lot of CNC time. It's the same thing that we do for our fans. You know, we hog all that out. So instead of it being the 0.380, it's 0.125 right here. So what we did is we designed this entire line of decks to CNC fast. So we're getting these done in under 45 minutes now. Now we still have to do the chemical welding of the riser, and we're still keeping the same mortise and tenon like we did on our custom cases, but we still have to do the chemical welding that we did before. But what we did is Revolectrix came down on the cost of their charger. We're actually making a deck that's going to be very budget friendly, let me put it that way. So same mounting system, same support, same CNC design, just a whole lot less work right here. And we're going to be able to, we're going to save money because we're saving about 30, on this one right here, we're saving about 30 minutes of CNC time. So we're going to pass that on to you. Another option, this is ADES, so it'll have an ADES balance in here. We have one for the PL6, which is this little cutie right here. 6S balance right here. So same setup, same CNC, same design. Now wait. So somebody's going to come up and say, Joe, I want a dual Powerlab in a 920 case. I got you. I can do this. Now, You've seen a couple cases we've come out lately. We've been doing squirrel cage fans for a couple years now. We did the pro basketball players case, and we did squirrel cages in that for his discharge resistor banks. But we've been using them for the pro guys. Some of the pro film companies out there, they need big air movement, zero noise whatsoever, and they want no deck space ate up. And we're building these big 960 cases and just sticking so much stuff into them. Now, we're on an NDA with them, so we can't show pictures and we can't say their names or anything like that, but we know this stuff is working good. So what we did is we redesigned the 920 case to get a PL6 Duo or a PL8 Duo, same setup, but instead of having the 80mm fans, we're going to have squirrel cage fans on here. Now, one of the things that I don't like the squirrel cage fan for the hobbyist is if you get something down in there, that fan stops. And because it doesn't really make any noise, they're super quiet, you really can't tell your fan's not working. So one of the things that we've done to remedy this, BFD, one of the pro companies that we do a lot of work for, they build this ginormous heavy lift drone. They kind of put us on the spot and made us find a mesh material. So we've got a stainless steel mesh. So what we're going to start doing is putting that mesh on the grills of these squirrel cage fans, just like we do all their equipment. And matter of fact, a lot of our customers have us do the grills now. Now that solves one problem, you know, screws and connectors and stuff like that from getting down in there. The other problem that we had is on our fans that we sell to our hobbyists, they've got LEDs into them, unless it's the pro fan, but you can still hear them things running. What we're doing is we're putting LED, we're just going to drill a hole in the house and put one LED diode in the side of it, LED diode, light emitting diode, LED, to where it lights up the inside of the squirrel cage fan. So if for some reason it does stop working, you're not going to burn your case up. You can, when you walk up to your charge case, you can visually see that squirrel cage fan spinning inside. And we're hoping that's going to solve those issues. So now on to the big cases. Same thing, we have our 940. And this is the most popular case that we do. Most of the cases that we do are 940s. You can do a lot of extra stuff, but we're going to offer a budget-friendly case also in the 940. If you notice, there's no storage, no logos. We'll probably just smash a big RotorCraft logo right there. But once again, because there's no upper, no cables running up to the bump controller, everything is self-contained in the bottom. One wire going down to the power supply. You can add mooch, USB, just a standard IEC. We don't need any switch because there's no LEDs. This is going to start getting our cases very competitive with some people out there that are building a more budget-friendly case. Same exact case. 940, got storage, and I got one around here somewhere. But anyways, it's, oh, here it is. This is the MPA, this is the Revolectrix multi-port adapter. This is the one with the fuses and everything in it. We're gonna have a deck made for this to go in it. So if you wanna stay with all Revolectrix, this is for a single PL6 or a single PL8. You'll have storage and an MPA times 4. Another one that we have, as you can tell, this is going to be a Duo. So this will have a dual Powerlab in it, DPL6 or DPL8. Once again, the dual MPA times 4 will be in here. And same thing, we're going to have these decks pre-made. Now this one starts getting a little bit into a little bit more money because we've got a lot of CNC and there's a little ridge here. Then the plate that goes on the back actually is a lot of CNC work. So this one's going to increase you a little bit into a budget. But one thing that we're not doing, if you noticed, our risers on some of our cases, we've been taking out material and making them lighter. The storage, we've been doing a lot of hog outs on those to make them lighter. But because there's no upper decks in these, there's not that extra added weight, and there's not bump controls and logos and stuff like that. We're not doing any weight reduction on this. And if you want it, you can order it with the weight reduction. It takes about 10% out of the weight of all the stuff that we're putting into the case. But what we're doing is we're trying to cut the CNC time down, cut time down. And that's one way that we're doing it. Then you'll be able to do just the standard balance boards and banana jacks and storage. Once again, we're still going to have one that we're offering storage in. We're just not going to do all the weight reduction on the storage. When you're doing it just on the storage and the risers, you're taking a ½ pound out, and I hope y'all can pick up a ½ pound. And then we know these will be the top sellers right here. This is the same as the other 940 that had the PL6 and PL8. We just got dual banana jacks and balance boards instead of singles. And then this one right here, this is right back into, it's pretty much a custom case. This is the one that we have the dual MPAs that go on the storage. There is a lot of CNC work, and this is about 2.5 hours of CNC work to do all of this, but we're still going to offer it. So basically what you get in your box when you order the Duel Powerlab is, once again, the update cable that goes into the back of the bump controller, and it's your USB to mini. And then it does come with bump tags just like the regular bump controller does. And then you get your Duel Powerlab 8, your Duel Powerlab 6, your PL6 or your PL8. Like I said, they've really stepped up the design. I'm really happy with everything. If you're wanting a bump controller in the upper of a case, this is the #1 question that we've been getting over the weekend. If you want a bump controller in the upper deck like we do on most of our custom cases, yes, you'll still be able to buy the bump controller and you'll still be able to mount it in the upper. And then what you'll do is if you charge 7 or 8S, you'll buy 4 PL8s and mount them inside the case. And then, or you can do 2 if you want to. So you'll be able to do 1, 2, 3, or 4 Powerlabs. And you can do 2 PL6s and 2 PL8s if you choose to inside your case. These are still available. The PL6s are still available. The PL6 or the PL8 Duo, the Duel Powerlab, these are no longer being made. So if you want one, you need to get your hands on it right now. We're stocking up on them, but they are going away with this one. And if you saw the case that we did for Burt Camera and some of the pro cases that we do, that we have the arch systems in it. So the arch system, this is still going to be available. If you want to do the 933 case, which is the smaller one, if you saw the one we did for BFD, this is the smallest case that we do them in. You'll be able to do 4 PL6s inside of the 933 case. Unfortunately, if you choose to go with if you need the PL8, we're going to have to bump up to the 950 size cases. A little bit bigger case, a little bit more depth. We cannot get two of these side by side inside the 930. It just, there's not an allowance for room in there. And you're definitely not going to take 4 of these and mount in there and have your bumps hidden. So there's a couple other options we're working on, and once we get some spare time and we get to play around with more material and some more of this stuff, I'm sure we're going to come up with ideas. But this is going to be our budget-friendly cases. The reason why it's budget-friendly is because Revolectrix has come down on their cost a little bit. Our CNC time has come down a little bit. Our install time has come down a little bit. One cable. Jeez, you have no idea how much we love this. We can spend an hour making pigtails to plug everything in. And this is also going to be fantastic for kits. Sometime this week, as we get these decks done, we'll be taking pictures of them with no equipment in them and putting them on the website as a kit, and then we'll be mounting a charger inside of it and taking pictures and putting them on the website. So the prices will be out and available. We've got one of every one cut already. We've got material sitting on the machine. We're going to have 2 decks in stock for everything. So if you want a kit, it should ship within days. As long as we have cases in stock. We did inventory on our 920s and realized we're really thin on 920s, but we got a ton of 940s. So if you guys have any questions, it's just like anything else. Feel free to give us a call. If I don't answer, I'm probably standing by that loud machine out there. RotorCraftRC@gmail.com, RotaryWingRC@gmail.com. Our website is RotorCraftRC.com. And then please look at our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. But I hope this helped you guys with some information. Something out of it. Peace. I gotta walk over here and turn everything off. Email us. Email us at RotorCraftRC. What is our email address?